Mystic lies in a lake of red, his face pallid like a wax model. With no sign of life, his one exposed eye stares wide from beneath his bangs. Held on spikes just moments ago, his corpse is soaked in a shower of blood. Puncture wounds mark his feet to his outstretched arms. Mystic? I let the word slip out, unsure what to expect. Of course, there's no reply. Beyond Mystic's extended hands is the table, the sole place of refuge in this spike-laden hell. He tried desperately to get to safety, but never made it. No one could have survived a direct hit from those spikes. The outcome is obvious. What? I don't get it. The room's totally sealed, right? Like, who even closed the door? How did whatever creepy killed Mystic get away?
Say, weren't you guys watching them cameras the whole while? Did you clock any sharpers who could have done it?
There was not a soul to be seen. Sir Mystic's distress was sudden, and the door sealed all on its own.
So what happened? You're trying to tell me the Invisible Man did it? What the hell's going on here anyhow?
Rowdy's grief echoes off the walls of the room. The Invisible Man? Mystic would have loved a phrase like that. The irony is too much to bear. This case raises one too many questions. We were watching security cameras, and yet the culprit managed to kill Mystic without getting caught on film in any way. Could Rowdy be right? Was the killer really invisible? How could we possibly approach this seemingly supernatural case? Why couldn't I protect him? Why didn't my denouement show me this tragic outcome that awaited us? I struggled not to rebuke myself. I'm supposed to be able to see the future, but I couldn't even stop my friend from dying. Is this ability even good for?
Calm yourself, Watto. There's no sense in blaming the denouement for all of this.
Homeless materializes at my side, scolding me for resenting my new power.
If the denouement wasn't triggered, that means you lack the details needed to foresee this outcome. Tragedies cannot be changed once they occur. All you can do now is seek whatever it is you overlooked. I'm gonna go quickly to the bathroom. I can't hold it longer.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I'll be back.
Yep. I know that, but how am I supposed to investigate a case as complex and bizarre as this? Remember what Mystic told you. His words flashed through my mind. Only by conquering one's fear of death can the truth be ascertained. Think, Watto. Didn't you just learn how to handle the supernatural yesterday? That's right. Even cases that seem surreal and impenetrable at first can be untangled if you approach them with a calm mind. Step 1. Do not rule out any possibility. With our expertise, we should be able to find the truths that currently lay unseen. Spot on. You've come to realize that even a precognitive superpower like the denouement has regulations, haven't you? No matter how opaque things seem, the rules are always hiding somewhere. Our mission as detectives is to expose these hidden rules. Mystic taught you how to approach the occult. Thus only you can bring order to this chaos. Disrupt your courage and lead the way, Watto. I'll do my best. Thank you, Holmes. I clenched my fist, psyching myself up. The old me wouldn't have been able to utter a single word in this situation, and even if I had, my shaky voice would have undermined what I was trying to say. But I'm not shaking now. My fear is outweighed by my rage toward whomever did this. Everyone, calm down. Even if the killer is one we can't see, their actions and crimes must follow a certain set of rules. If we manage to figure those rules out, we can catch the culprit, invisible or not. Incompetent? Everyone turns to look at me, but I make my way to Mystic's body without faltering. I know how righteous a man he was. It's almost as if the crime is mocking his belief in the occult. not to mention our attempts to monitor things. I've never felt anything close to the ire that's boiling up in the pit of my stomach over this despicable act. Mystic taught me how to engage with the occult, so it's on me to solve this case. I have to. Standing before his corpse, I voiced my promise. Watch over us, Mystic. I swear that I'll bring this phantom killer to justice. Chapter 2, The Case of the Phantom Killer. It's interesting that they give you the chapter titles, like, after the murder occurs. I did not notice that last chapter. After announcing Mystic's death to the others via D-pad, we begin our investigation in earnest. The cause of death was exsanguination. That sounds about right. Unable to escape the trap, his entire body was skewered, killing him almost instantly. But Mystic should have known how to deal with this trap. Why wasn't he able to get to safety? One look at the security camera should be enough to answer that one. Renegade operates the tablet used for the cameras, which he had brought from the living room and replays the moments right before Mystic's death. You can clearly tell he was poisoned by something. He couldn't stand and was struggling to breathe, suggesting some sort of neurotoxin. But when and where could something like that have been administered to him? Don't ask me. His body's got so many holes he may as well be Swiss cheese at this point. Enough with the tasteless jokes, Renegade. My bad, my bad. Don't get your panties in a twist. I'm not trying to make a joke out of this. With this much blood and so many puncture wounds, it'd take one hell of a doctor to figure out how he was poisoned in the first place. The perp likely planned the crime with that in mind. Just like the senior detective, this homicide was not only cruel but cunning. You're certainly enjoying yourself. Are you sure you aren't the culprit? Give me a break. I'm a detective too. When there's a mystery to solve, my engine gets revving. It's part of my nature, really. Even when your own comrade is the victim. Don't project your morals onto me. In my world, there's two types of people. Me and everyone else. Tisk, tisk. Boys, always trying to pick a fight. I've had it up to here. Gourmet wedges herself in between Workaholic and Renegade, ending their argument by force. Come on, let's share the autopsy report with everyone. And we need to check the security camera recordings. Right, sorry, my emotions got the better of me there. Despite his clear annoyance, Workaholic backs down. What's with them? Day by day, I'm sensing some serious tension between Workaholic and Renegade. What could have happened between those two? I assure you I had no hand in this. Posh's voice sounds out from the hallway. For some reason, downtown the others are gathered around Posh, whose face is bright red as she shouts. Accusing a blue-blooded lady such as myself, you plebeians have overstepped your bounds. Continue, and I shall take this matter to court. Like, oh my god, we are not accusing you, girl. We just want to know why you rushed out in a panic after Mystic collapsed. I already told you I had no particular reason for doing so. This discussion is over. Look, we're only grilling you so we can clear your name here. Eesh. You really owed the old man right before he died. Sounds awful fishy even to a brickhead like me. Yeah, what Rowdy said. Me, Techie, and Workaholic were in the trap room a while ago too, so we're all in the same boat here. Let's just take a chill pill and talk us out, okay? You mean only to aid you, Lady Posh. I respectfully decline. Noble Pinkerton blood flows through my veins. I shall chart my own course out of this chaos. A good day to you. Wait, Posh. Posh ignores us and marches off. Sorry guys, I probably should have been nicer about it. Ain't no helping it. I don't think she's gonna budge on this one. She's not, huh? Oh, she's extremely proud of her lineage. I wonder if her family has something to do with how strongly she's reacting. Give her space. I'm certain that Posh, in her own way, is also quite distraught by the loss of Mystic Detective. After all, had she stayed in that room just a touch longer, there was a chance she could have saved him. That's another point to consider. Even so, continuing your investigation in that state seems rash and counterproductive. I wish there was some way to help her. Some can be helped with, while others cannot. That's part and parcel of working in an organization. Ah, I see. Everyone is coping with the loss of Mystic differently. Some even manage to remain unaffected, like Renegade Detective. Oh, right. Bookworm was especially close to Mystic. Where is she now? She straight up fainted when she heard the news, so I carried her back to her room. There's no way we can let her see the body. That girl better not wake up until we get this thing solved. Thanks, Downtown. You're probably right. With her photographic memory and the gruesome state of Mystic's body, it'd be too much. An image of Mystic enjoying dinner with Bookworm flashes in my mind, and my chest suddenly aches. Bookworm already lost her parents to a murder case. To have her family taken away from her twice, I can't begin to imagine her sorrow. We have to get to the bottom of this, for her sake as well. Downtown, can you lend me a hand? I'll need your help if we're going to solve this. Wow, someone's hyped for this. Sure, I'll pitch in however you need. But for now, let's go to the living room and check out those cameras with everything else. You might find, a clue or something. I do as Downtown suggests and head to the first floor with the other detectives. Uh-oh. Suddenly, sparks flash across my field of view. Everyone's corpses are suddenly before me, the very same tragedy I saw in my dream. The dead bodies, the stiffening flesh on my feet, the putrid smell of death. It all seems so much closer to reality than ever. I can see the trajectory of this impending doom much more clearly now. In other words, this outcome still hasn't been avoided. If anything, this is evidence that it's getting closer to occurring. Downtown's face, so joyful mere moments ago, is now a bone-chilling death mask. I want to believe this is a lie, a delusion. Mystic has been murdered. The Duke really is inside the manor, and he intends to kill us all. My pulse quickens. It's pounding so hard it hurts. We don't unravel this case and find that hidden passageway soon. You good, dude? Why'd you stop all of a sudden? Something wrong? Oh, sorry. It's nothing, really. My mind snaps back to reality. I smile back at Downtown as she looks at me with concern, her eyes narrowing in suspicion. Is she my fashionista My fashionista senses are telling me you're hiding something. She's sharp. Those fashionista senses are no joke. There's no way I can tell her you're all gonna die, though. So I just gotta try to keep smiling. Look, I won't push you if you don't want to share, but try not to bottle it up too much, okay? It's all chill, so don't worry. You've grown a ton over these past few days. You think so? Duh. When you saw your first corpse, you were, super pale. But just now, you were giving orders like it was your job. I know I named you incompetent, but keep this up, and we'll be taking those first 2 letters off in no time. Yeah, I'll try my best. I give Downtown a weak grin and keep walking. My head throbs after seeing the Dynamon's vision, but I can't let that get to me. If things don't change, there'll be no avoiding what's to come. I'm certain you've realized this, but the tragedy you just saw was no delusion. It was a glimpse of the not-so-distant future. You're the only living soul who knows. In order to prevent it, you must solve the case by your hand. Right. I promise I won't let it happen. Downtown praised my progress, but every bit of it is thanks to Holmes being at my side. What little ability I have is reliant on her, but if it'll solve this case, I play the role of the leader and guide these detectives. This is, after all, my duty as the one who inherited Holmes' power. Everyone aside from Polish and Bookworm is gathered in the living room. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna take like 5 minutes and step away myself now. So yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. We'll continue. We're probably about to do the investigation, so I figured now would be a good time to take a break, if any. So yeah, I'll be back soon. Okay, let's get back into this. Everyone aside from Posh and Bookworm is gathered in the living room. We set the tablet on the table and play the recording from the security camera. 7 o'clock.
This is when Techie was explaining the poison flower vases to me.
Yeah, I was getting a glass of water from the dining room when I thought to analyze the water in the vases on a whim. As soon as they detected the poison, I immediately got in touch with Workaholic. Did you see anyone besides yourselves? Nope, none in particular.
Neither of us realized that Rowdy was nearby eavesdropping on us.
8 o'clock. There's all the hubbub from this morning. Dang, I can like hear the yelling in my head, even without the sound. Good thing these cameras didn't pick up any of that. Witnessing this again, I am most ashamed.
You've been plenty sorry already, pal. Enough's enough.
9 o'clock.
You're really knocked out there, incompetent. Look, you're not even moving.
After stopping Rowdy in armor, I felt sick all of a sudden. Wonder why. That confirms this incompetent was sleeping in his room right up until the incident. I think we can clear him as a suspect.
At that time, we were enjoying the breakfast Mystic had prepared. We were all there until about 10 o'clock, aside from incompetent.
10 o'clock. Around 10, I left the dining room with Renegade to check out the trap room. Now there's an odd pair. What were you two investigating? The room's dimensions. You know how the trap room is directly above the living room? We were checking to see if the lengths and the widths and such were the same between rooms. What we discovered is that every measurement is identical, even in the heights of the ceilings. They are indeed in the same location on the floor plan. We not already assumed this. In a normal house, sure. But the staircase here is pretty long, isn't it? Given that, I'd think the first floor ceiling would be higher. We can assume the stairs compensate for this discrepancy. In short, it stands to reason. I'm gonna finish reading the line. I don't know why I hit the button. It stands to reason that there's a gap between the two floors. I don't know why I hit the button. Oh. You think that space could be for like those spikes that shoot out the floor? They're pretty long, so they need to be hidden somewhere. I see. So the spikes are normally retracted in the extra space between the two floors, and they only pop up when the trap is activated. So from a design perspective, the whole point of that room was to be a trap. Whoever made this and rigged up that chandelier really is twisted. Well, if this is the... So this is the Detective Alliance's mansion. So, like, the chandelier, rigging up the chandelier is one thing. So it's like, oh, that's something someone could have done. Like, the spikes were placed there by the Detective Alliance. They're in the design of the mansion. They're, like, integral to it. So it's just like, why? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that weird for the Detective Alliance to want to have traps in their mansion. But then you'd think they would also tell their people about it.
You'd think.
Unless, that part's really weird to me.
Yeah.
Well. As the recording shows, we swapped places with Doleful and left the trap room at around noon. After that, I moseyed over to the study and thumbed through files the whole time until the murder. Check the cameras and you'll see. What were you doing? What were you doing there, Doleful?
Well, I was thinking in the dining room, and I got curious about the construction of the doors, so I went to investigate myself.
Was there something strange about them?
Yeah, well, it's very subtle. The doors in the manor have a different design on each floor. Doors in identical guest rooms differ in material and size between floors, whereas totally distinct rooms on the same floor have matching doors.
That does seem intentional.
It's not a rule for every door to be the same, but if the ones on the first floor are distinct from the second, that's worth keeping in mind. After investigating for about half an hour, I went back to look at each guest room door. That's where I was until the murder. You can check the footage.
Rue, you were in one of the guest rooms when it happened. Armor and I both saw you on camera. 12:30.
I was talking with Mystic and Bookworm in the dining room regarding the structure of the manor. Then, as you can see, we went to the trap room. We had more or less checked all our other rooms by then, so if any devices or mechanisms were left to be found, we figured they would be there.
Did you end up finding anything?
Well, we confirmed that the trap was the only mechanism. The room's layout doesn't account for a sealed door, only the spikes below. Bookworm and I felt we were off the mark and went downstairs, while Mystic kept examining the ground. Perhaps he was closing in on the hidden passage.
13:30. I went to the trap room again, taking the place of Workaholic and Bookworm. I went downtown, pushed my wheelchair so I could make it to the second floor more easily. Thanks for the help, you two. Hey, we couldn't just leave our little buddy hanging. What were you three investigating there? Well, like Doleful, I also noticed that the doors fell off somehow. I was just keeping Techie company, not a super chatty vibe though, so I didn't contribute like at all. Oh, and from what I remember, Bosch was doing something in there too. She was like hella curious about the vase in the corner. 1400. This is when Armor woke me up. Oh right, this was when Mystic was like, I do believe I've solved the mystery of Hidden Passage. I was so stoked, I just had to hug him, but then Posh was like, oh, utterly obscene, or whatevs, and got all huffy about it. She seems pretty happy herself, though. Yeah, she was doing her usual laugh, you know, that oh ho ho junk. Totally cracks me up. The camera showed Mystic speaking excitedly. Even without sound, I can sense his congeniality. No one could have expected a murder was about to occur. Dang, this hits way different now. Like, I stayed, maybe I could have saved him. I felt more at ease after what Mystic told us, so when I stopped investigating, if only I'd noticed the anomalies in the room. You let your guard down, there's no helping that. I mean, nothing seems out of place just looking at the feed here. 14:30. This is the moment Armor and I saw earlier. This was also when Mystic contacted us. Bosch begins acting oddly, then rushes out of the trap room. Mystic is left by himself, barely moving to the point where it seems to be killing. He then falls to his knees, disappearing from the camera's line of sight. After that, the door seems to close on its own and the camera cuts out. Judging from the broken camera lying on the ground, the spikes must have hit it when they shot out. And that's the end of security feed leading up to the incident. As we thought, nothing that would point us toward a culprit was caught on film.
To summarize this feed and everyone's commentary, at 2:30 or 14:30, when Mystic's demeanor began to change, Posh was the only other one in the room. Downtown was there right up until that point, but left to meet with incompetent. Techie had gone to get a drink, then relocated to the living room.
I bumped into Tech while checking out the fridge in the dining room. We left for the living room together after that. Workaholic and Bookworm showed up after us. Come to think of it, on the way over, I sent someone coming down the stairs. Must have been them too.
Bookworm and I had investigated the study for a good hour before the incident. We should be able to confirm each other's alibis. Same for me and Gourmet here. The two of us stuck together the whole time.
We were examining the rec from about 1 o'clock until the murder. You'll be able to see us clearly on the recording.
I was alone in the guest rooms the entire time, but the camera should show me too.
Right, like I said, Armor and I were watching you investigate through the surveillance feed, Dolphin.
Which means the only individual without an alibi would be Posh, though I suspect she's liable to blow her top again if we say as much.
We probably shouldn't tell her while she's in such a fragile emotional state. Best to stay quiet until we've gathered definitive evidence. Even so, all of us have an alibi aside from her. This case only gets stranger and stranger.
Most everyone can account for where they were. How odd.
I feel you. We may have these cameras, but there's none in the halls, and they have no small number of blind spots. With everyone's alibis checking out so neatly, I can only wonder if this was all deliberate. Whatever do you mean, Sir Renegade? Prithee speak plainly, for those of us less intellectually inclined. In other words, there's reason to believe our Phantom Killer used those blind spots for their nasty scheme. Those cameras were meant to be a deterrent, yet ended up being the key to this crime. Ironic, no? You okay with that, Tech? Does it pain you? It's all because I made those cameras? Renegade slowly saunters toward Techie, his face is full of malice. It's hard to believe he's truly a detective committed to justice. The culprit was able to off Mystic without revealing themselves. All thanks to you and your inventions. Oh no, your dear little friends. You've got talent, and Mystic Detective died because of it. So now, for his sake, you've got to work harder and harder and harder. Renegade, cut it out.
Don't go busting my little buddy's chops, you damn clown.
Rowdy and I step in to confront Renegade. It's not your fault, Techie. Don't listen to what Renegade's saying.
Damn straight, we all know you're a stand-up guy. We're gonna work together and give that invisible bastard what for.
You guys... Tears well up in Techie's eyes. He wipes his tears with the sleeve of his coat, puts on a dignified expression, and begins moving toward the living room door. Thanks, I appreciate it, but the fact is, the cameras I made caused this to happen. It's my responsibility to catch Mystic's killer, and I swear I'll do it. I'll meet you all back here once the case is solved. With that, Techie exits the room, as worried as I am. He's overflowing with determination. As worried as I am, he's overflowing with determination. It wouldn't be in my place to stop him. Things sure are getting interesting.
What are y'all giddy for, you damn jerk? Pull that shit again and you're getting a knuckle sandwich.
Why did you say all that to Techie? There's nothing for you to gain by hurting him. Hurting him? I've done nothing of the sort. If anything, Tech is benefiting from this.
What? Yeah, it builds character.
Yeah, right? Thanks to me, he's realized his creations can get others killed. This lesson will help him blossom into an even more brilliant detective than before. Detectives, above all, ought to experience how heavy life can be. You, me, all of us. Let's keep carrying the weight of this thing we call living.
Okay, I get it. I get it now. All I gotta do is beat you half to death, then you'll really appreciate living.
Alright, time out. Fighting among friends is a big no-no. Let's be nice to everyone. Gourmet stops Rowdy as she prepares to lunch at Renegade. There's no mistake, Rowdy's out for blood. It's a good thing Gourmet is here.
Let me go, sis. My gut tells me that letting this chump off the hook is gonna bite us in the ass.
And make waste of your precious fighting abilities? Right now, we need to work together to find Mystic's killer. Besides, Renegade does raise a valid point. Well-intentioned acts offer ill-intentioned people all too many openings. Brilliant as always, Gourmet. You summed my point up oh so succinctly. You ought to work on your phrasing. No matter how nutritious the dish, no one is willing to eat something that looks unappetizing. Don't forget, appearances always matter. It goes for food and words alike. Apologies. I'll take that to heart. Renegade hums to himself as he exits the room. I'm positive that didn't really resonate with him. He's as unsettling as ever. Waffles.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry, sis. He may be a huge jerk, but you're right. Right now, we ought to catch that slippery culprit of ours. Time to switch gears and get investigating.
That's the spirit. Our invisible killer is clearly quite the clever fox. We're going to need to pull out the stops. Having said her piece, Gourmet leaves the room with Rowdy in tow.
So, Workaholic, is Renegade really not involved in this case? I couldn't say. Most everyone has an alibi, so I'm not entirely sure what to make of this. Nevertheless, I'm curious about the hidden passage Mystic claimed to have found. Considering the timing of it all, the crime was likely committed to prevent us from discovering it, which means the culprit intends to keep us trapped in the manor?
Seeing as they ransacked the fridge, maybe they plan to starve us. But then again...
Right. The timing would be off. They would have had an ample time to dispose of our food supply while killing Senior Detective.
The killer hadn't troubled us much to the point. Where it's been concerning. Why empty the fridge now? And then there's the still hidden passage. Mystic's murder isn't the only mystery we need to solve. Now more than ever, we of the DA must work together. How about the three of us join forces and investigate together? I'm sure the others would pitch in and help if we do.
You'll be fine on your own.
Huh?
Apologies, but I'd prefer to look into things on my own right now. I don't trust it. Everyone has an alibi, and none of us can be cleared of suspicion. I'd like to avoid walking blindly into a trap, if at all possible.
Makes sense. Hopeful, what about you?
I'm going to take a look at those guest room doors again. I'm sure they're the key to solving this puzzle. I'm just gonna look at a bunch of doors.
Oh.
If I'd only found the passage sooner, maybe Mystic wouldn't have been targeted. Cracking this case is my responsibility too. If I come across anything, I'll let you know on my D-pad right away. You two stay safe out there. Don't know where the enemy could be lurking.
The Waffle and Workaholic exit the room, and I would have liked to investigate with them, but when all of us are suspects, I can't just push them into it. Only 3 of us remain in the room. Downtown, Armor, and myself. The leftover trio is back at it again, huh? Sir Incompetent, your words ring true. Joining our efforts is paramount. By all means, do not hesitate to entreat my aid during your quest. So, you're like relying on others to get stuff done? TBF, I'm useless on my own too, so I was totally banking on some direction. Anyway, how are you going to approach this case, Competent? It's not like we know up from down, so just tell us how we can help. Oh, crap, my mind's drawing a blank. There's still a ton of things to consider, but I have no clue where to even start. I'm racking my brain, but nothing's coming together.
Please, Watto, if you let your confusion show, it'll only cause him to feel uncertain as well.
Holmes appears at my side, smiling gently.
As you are aware, the case is full of riddles. I'm afraid that fumbling through this won't get you much of anywhere. Instead, you must sort through the points of this mystery that bear investigating, by articulating what aspects you believe are crucial to the case.
Right. With this many loose ends, the first step is to sort out our priorities. Encouraged by Holmes, I turn to face the others, ready to touch on the key points of this murder.
I wonder if he's still, like, whispering to Ideal, or is he now finally talking to her in his head?
Oh,
or
I
is
don't
he
know.
just like turned to the side, like, you know, just starts mumbling, you know? I think that'd be pretty funny.
Hey guys, what's up? Yeah. As it stands, this case has 3 aspects we have to solve. The first of which is, yes, the chandelier trap from the last case. We also know there's not really much benefit to picking wrong answers. They just say, that you're stupid. Don't really have anything fun to go with them. The door that closed on its own, almost like a phantom had done it. We need to figure out how the culprit managed to accomplish this. The second aspect is... No, sorry, it probably isn't. Really? Okay, I figured that we... Oh, we know what the cause of his death is. I was thinking, like, what made him, like, pass out. Where are the hidden passages? Mystic was likely killed because he discovered the trick behind it. Whatever he learned will be a vital clue, I bet. And the final aspect is... the method of administering the neurotoxin on Mystic. I need to find out how he was poisoned despite being in view of the camera. Let's check the camera feed one more time and get to the bottom of these riddles. I just know that recording is our ticket to solving this. What's wrong, guys? You're both staring. No, it's just, you kind of sounded like Ideal there for a sec. Verily, you were the spitting image of our esteemed chief. Woe that the others were not here to see just how semblable it was. You're just saying that. Taken aback by their comments, but I suppose their impressions are correct, given that I'm following Holmes' direction. Come on, Incompetent. I trust you on this. Just let me know how I can help. Once again, I am resolved that I should trust your instinct over my own. Sir Incompetent, all of my might is yours to command. Sirrah! Thank you, both of you. My chest tightens as I meet their hopeful gazes. I feel bad imitating Holmes, but if we plan on catching my Mystic's killer, I can't stop now. I've got to live up to their expectations and give solid direction.
Your self-confidence is still lacking, but you did a fine job at encapsulating everything just now. Look alive, Watto. This is your moment to shine. Give your orders to these detectives, just as I showed you on your first day here. God, I kind of remember that.
Yeah?
Be aware that should you not intervene, the events shown on the denouement will not be averted.
Understood. Here I go, Holmes. I reply to Holmes in my head, and then take one deep breath after another. This case, while caught on camera, is twisted as it is complex. Only Posh lacks an alibi, and with each of us as a suspect, our teamwork is compromised. But there's no helping it. Only I'm aware of the future tragedy that could unfold. The only way to stop it is to change the course of events. It's up to me. Let's reverse this tragedy.